Hello, friends. Welcome, friends. Yesterday, in the earnings call of Bharti Airtel, Gopal Vittal made some comments on tariff repair. Now, friends, everybody in the industry who has invested in these companies, Airtel, Reliance, Jio, Vodafone Idea, and they are interested in survival of Vodafone Idea, they want the tariffs to go high, and that is Gopal Vittal was gunning for that, and he was saying that the India's mobile tariff needs repair. Whatever repair has done is not sufficient. So, friends, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to analyze Gopal's tariff repair structure. I'm going to compare the tariff repair structure of Airtel versus Vodafone Idea and Reliance Jio. And the suggestion what Gopal Vittal is giving for tariff restructuring, who is going to get benefited the most, because Gopal Vittal also says in one of the questions that was asked in response to the question that this can't be done in isolation. So he needs support from Vodafone Idea and Reliance Jio as regards tariff, right? Raising tariff, because if he raises tariff unilaterally, then he is going to lose postpaid subscribers, which the largest pie of the industry is with Airtel. So, friends, let me just first play this out, what Gopal is saying, and then I'm going to analyze this, and then you will realize what I'm talking about. So, let me just play this out for your reference.
As I mentioned earlier, India mobile tariff continues to remain one of the lowest globally and needs further repair. We've also said that the current telecom tariff structure in India is broken, with a one-size-fits-all pricing model, which is not appropriate for upgradation, nor is it in line with any other market. Restructuring the tariff architecture is essential to improve financial health of the industry and sustain future investments. This could simply mean reducing data allowances on some of the packs and charging more for those who can afford to pay. The other area of focus on mobile continues to be postpaid. Smartphone upgrades is a second area of focus, and driving penetration of international roaming is a third area of focus. While our rural rollout has driven our market.
So now let me just take you to that place where he talks about that it can't be done in isolation, right? So this is, let me say, yeah. So this is.
So let me take the first question on your tariff architecture. I think what options there are. I think obviously this can't be done in isolation, but just to give you a sense of how we see it, the entry level pricing on on the plans, I think those entry level pricing should potentially not go up, and even if they do, they go up very, very modestly.
So note, he's saying that the entry level pricing should not go up, and even if it goes up, it should go very, very modestly. So he has recognized the fact that India's masses, especially in the rural area, cannot absorb any more tariff hike, which I have been saying from the very beginning by looking at the MOSPI data, which is the data of consumer spending on the vertical of this service sector other than conveyance, right? Which anybody who has seen my video probably understand that there is absolutely no pricing power the operator has at the lowest level, at the entry level. So let's go in and listen what he's saying further.
But the next level pricing, where there's oodles of data allowance that's put in there.
See, oodles of data allowance. So when you have large amount of data allowance, right? So what he's saying, you should curb that and then push the allowance at the higher level so that you can force the other players to move up the ladder.
Data allowance should dramatically reduce, and then there should be a reason for people to upgrade to higher plans. So,
see, there should be a reason for people to upgrade to higher plans, right? So friends, why I'm doing this video today, the whole purpose of this video is to analyze what Gopal is trying to say. Whether it is possible to implement, whether it is going to be the interest of other players in the market, given the character of subscribers that they have. Because Airtel has the premium subscribers in the market. So whatever that Gopal is presenting, and he clearly says that it can't be executed in isolation. So he needs support from the other players, and whether the other players are will be willing to lend their support or not. So friends, what I have done is I actually have created this three different you can say blocks right? One for Bharti, one for Vodafone Idea, and for Reliance Jio. So what I am trying to do here, I am trying to find out that when you raise the tariff of postpaid, I'm not talking about the mid-level plans, I'm talking about the postpaid, and see, because that is where the people have got maximum affinity to pay, right? You can debate whether the next level, whether people will pay or not, but postpaid, there is absolutely no confusion. So let's look at, if we raise the pricing of the postpaid subscriber by 20%, 18%, 19%, 20%, who is going to gain the most as regards their ARPU? And then you will understand whether other people, other operators like VI and Reliance Jio is going to support Airtel in their plan of raising the tariff for the segments which are willing to pay with oodles of data, and you need to cut their data allowance and move them to a higher level so that people are forced to move up the ladder. That's what Gopal is saying. So let's first look at the first metric. We know that, because there are certain things which I am not aware, so I'm making an assumption, but we know that Airtel has got 25.88 million postpaid subscriber, and that you can extract from Airtel's KPI. There is no confusion about that, right? Then you know that there is a blended ARPU of 245 rupees, right? And you know the base, which is 369.59 million subscribers. And I did a video on this base itself, whether this ARPU of 245 is correct or not. People can watch that video. I am going to paste the link of that video in the description, right? So why I'm doing this here? Because I know that blended ARPU is this. I know the total subscriber here, and I know the postpaid subscriber, right? So I can calculate the ARPU of the prepaid subscriber, because I need the prepaid subscriber number. I don't have the prepaid subscriber. Sorry, I need the ARPU of the prepaid subscriber because I don't have that. So what I've done, I've used this calculation, which is simple. I assumed a postpaid ARPU of rupees 445, which looks to me quite reasonable. And then on the basis of the weighted average formula, if you look at the formula here, people can pause the video and look at this formula. It's very simple. I estimated the prepaid ARPU of rupees 330, right? Postpaid is 445. We have got the postpaid subscriber of Bharti as 25.88. So I get a prepaid ARPU of 330. 230. Now, why I need the prepaid ARPU? Because I want to hold the prepaid ARPU constant, assuming that there will be no change in the prepaid segment, because those are budget customers. Only the postpaid is going to get elevated to the next plan. I'm just making an assumption. Maybe a certain portion of prepaid will also get elevated, but that's a different discussion. So it will give you a sense, why the trend and the who is going to get benefited the most. So this is 330. So what I will do, 230. So I'm going to fix this, hold this fixed 230. And then I'm going to move this 445 to 525, causing a 18%, roughly around 18 to 20% increase. Now, if I cause this 18% increase of the postpaid ARPU from 445 for Airtel, then I will be able to calculate the new blended ARPU. How? Simple. Same calculation, weighted average calculation. So this number comes out to be 251. So the current ARPU of Airtel, using this base number of 361.59, is 245. So the new ARPU of Airtel will become 251 if they are able to raise the postpaid subscribers pricing by 20%. So there will be an increase of ARPU of 6.11 rupees, right, for postpaid subscriber. And Airtel has got the bulk of the postpaid subscribers. Now let's go and do the same analysis for VI. Now for VI, let's assume that their postpaid ARPU is lower compared to Airtel. I am putting it at rupees 400. You can reduce this number also. And through this, I am calculating what is the prepaid ARPU, which is 151 rupees. And I did in the same video, which I am going to paste the link of that video in the description. I kind of questioned that why this is so low, because the lowest plan is 199. And for that, you need to have an ARPU of at least 180 rupees. So looks like that there are many subscribers who are not recharging for the whole month. So the blended ARPU also, Vodafone Idea, we know 163 rupees. Total subscribers 200 million. And we know the postpaid subscribers of 9.72 million. Right. So on the basis of that, I have already calculated prepaid ARPU. Now I plug this number here, fix 151 rupees. And then I raise the postpaid ARPU from 400 rupees to 475 rupees, which is again 19%. Right. So you see the new blended ARPU is coming out to be 167 rupees. So there is an increase of ARPU of VI by 3.75, right, in absolute terms, compared to increase of 6.11 in case of Airtel. Now do the same calculation for Reliance Jio. Now postpaid ARPU, I am assuming Reliance Jio has 400 rupees. The number of postpaid subscriber is quite less, 3.4. And then on the basis of that, because I know that Reliance Jio's blended ARPU is 206, so the prepaid ARPU comes out to be around 204.6. I force it constant, 204.6, and I raise the postpaid ARPU from 400 rupees to 475 rupees, which is a 19% increase. And that new blended ARPU comes out to be 207, which is 0.55 rupees increase of their overall blended ARPU. That is where the challenge is, friends. You can understand that the maximum benefit of ARPU repair is going to be harnessed by Bharti, because Bharti has the premium most subscriber. Why? Because look at postpaid, definitely this number is correct, and even the prepaid number is quite high compared to what you see in case of Vodafone, which is the lowest, and Reliance Jio is close to Bharti, but it is not as close to Bharti because there is Bharti substantially ahead as far as the ARPU is concerned. So if what Gopal suggested, that you need to push the people up the ladder, because those people who can't pay, you can leave them aside, because those are gone cases, right? They will never be able to pay for higher price increase. They will start consuming less. They will become like Vodafone subscribers, where you have, even if you have a higher plan of 200 rupees or 200, make it 220 rupees, you will see the ARPU going down because people will not recharge. Their data consumption is going to go down. So any tariff repair that happens in the industry, the biggest gainer is Bharti. You can clearly see, because of the quality of subscriber. So that is the game in India, friends. The mobile industry that we have in India is gunning for those premium subscribers. You have to grab those premium subscribers. Then only you will be able to elevate the efficiency of your business, or your quality of subscribers will drive your revenues higher. If you have poor quality subscribers, then you do not have the leverage. The pricing leverage is no longer there in India, friends. So this is clearly evident from this chart. You can pause the video and have a look at it, because everybody is discussing ARPU. Everybody is saying that, you have to raise the ARPU. From where you want to raise the ARPU when people will not pay? So clearly you can see that. That's why Gopal is making a statement like this, that, leave those who can't pay, only go for those who can pay, and elevate the plans to a level that remove those data pack, which the huge amount of data that you are giving at the lowest segment, reduce that, and you can push them at the higher pedestal, so that people are forced to upgrade to a higher plan. That's what he's saying, right? So which means that substantial amount of people who are the lowest strata of the society, they will never be able to absorb any further tariff hike. It is clearly evident from this fact what Gopal is saying, because he must have really reconciled this fact, and he wants to get maximum leverage from his premium subscribers, but he needs support from VI and Reliance Jio to raise the postpaid subscribers ARPU proportionately, or the pricing proportionately. Otherwise, what will happen? People will get fed up and you will start migrate to Vodafone Idea or Reliance Jio, and he doesn't want to lose this number, 25.88. He wants to keep elevating this number, right? If this 25.88 postpaid subscriber number somehow diminishes and people start migrating from Bharti to Vodafone Idea and Reliance Jio, then he is going to have a substantial problem. The quality of subscribers that exist today in Bharti has to retain. They have to retain those subscribers in order to keep their business more efficient. Their revenue, their top line, has to keep on increasing, and they will have more pricing power compared to their peers. Now you understand why Gopal was consistently telling that India needs tariff repair, and he's comparing with Indonesia. There is no apples to apples comparison. You can't really make comparison between countries unless you look at the overall bucket on which the spendings are being made. two different countries with two different economic structure. You cannot. And then India, you are charging so much amount of money for spectrum. Your rollout cost is so high. So you can't really compare and make those comparison apples to apples. And that is one of the biggest mistake which operators keeps on doing, that India is the lowest, tariff market, and therefore the tariff has to go high. You really don't have the pricing leverage. You don't have the pricing leverage. How can you keep saying that India? Because if the overall disposable income of the Indian consumer does not increase, you can keep raising the pricing. You will not be able to increase your revenue because the product is not going to be maximized. The number of customers and that tariff that you are charging, that product has to maximize. So I think you now understand that how difficult it is for the mobile operators to raise revenues, and that's why some of the mobile operators want Vodafone Idea dead. Because if Vodafone Idea dies, then there is no need for them to push on for tariff hike, because all the subscribers from Vodafone Idea will either shift to Bharti premium subscribers, and some of them will go to Reliance Jio, and then they can merrily go for another year without any tariff hike. So that's all, friends, for this video, and I hope you understand how important this is and why Vodafone Idea needs to survive, so that people have pricing power, not the people have the capability. The leverage lies on people, not on the operators. Otherwise, the investments are not going to be done. The quality of service is going to deteriorate, and the government has to play a role to empower the operators to make the investment, not charge so much amount of license fee and spectrum charges. That is killing the sector. See, Bharti today has got an EBITDA margin so high, it is unthinkable anywhere in the world. 55.9%. Can you imagine this? An operator with such high license fee and spectrum fee charge having an EBITDA margin of, which clearly shows that Bharti has the pricing power, friends. So anyway, friends, I will not go further on this. I hope that you have understood what I am talking about as regards tariff hike and tariff repair, so-called tariff repair, how challenging it is. And thanks for listening till the end. I'll come back with a new video next time on a new topic. Thank you very much.